And we're live. Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. And welcome to my special guest, who used to be a host, but now it's here as my special guest. Daria, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. What about you?
I'm fantastic. I'm super excited for today because today we have the special report for Year 7, Season 2, The Pact. So we're going to discuss a lot of the things that are coming to Division tomorrow. And yeah, I'm super excited because this stream is very special for us. We're going to have a special guest from Bucharest. So yeah, we're trying to do a lot of different things. We had Fire Alarm. We had Anais losing her voice in Gamescom. I don't know what's going to happen
Now
today.
it's me in the studio, and I'm not a special guest. See, there is going to be someone else.
Yeah.
Something even better than that.
Obviously, we cannot come here after everything we said in Gamescom and not talk about Survivors, right? So during Gamescom, we had Magnus Jansen, the creative director for Survivors, and he talked a little bit about this experience that we have been teasing the players a lot on socials. It was like a huge success, the number of engagement that we saw from the community. They're really into Survivors. And yeah, when can we expect more info for Survivors, Daria?
So you just decided to put me on the spot. No, actually there is going to be absolutely more communication coming very soon, actually in the coming months. So the next big thing is definitely going to be in October.
Okay.
I cannot tell you what specifically that is going to be, but be on the lookout if you're interested to learn more about Survivors.
Yeah, no, and this is something that we're super excited because we noticed how excited the community was about that. So opening registrations for ETF, everything that we are trying to do is to make sure that we're going to include the community in the development of Survivors. So Magnus already hinted something about the name. I'm not going to make any comment on that. I'm just going to refresh people about what he said. But yeah, we're super excited for Survivors. So October is the next date that we can expect any news for how the development is going. Cool. Also, finally, we also talk in Gamescom about the upcoming season, the season for the third season of this year, that is Mutiny. So yeah, this is the key art. I know that you as a product manager work a lot in like preparing everything for the seasons. What can you tell us about what's coming? I know that it's very early, so we're not here to talk about this season, but yeah, first takes on that.
Yeah, without giving way too many spoilers, I think that this art should tell you a little bit the story, the narrative behind it, and specifically these two nice young gentlemen pointing the guns at each other. That might give you a good explanation as to what is supposed to happen during the season, but without going into too many details, I might definitely say that the NPC companion that Yannick hinted at during Gamescom is definitely the outcome of this altercation that we can see on this key art.
Okay, and I saw a lot of people asking if the NPC companion is going to be a dog. I know that you're a cat lover, but are we going to have NPC dogs as companion for the season?
I mean, no hate to dogs, but not this time, unfortunately.
Okay, so no dogs for...
I mean, there are no dogs on the key art, so...
Yeah, that's a good observation. All right, so we cover everything that we talked during Gamescom for the upcoming feature of the franchise. Now it's time to talk about what's coming tomorrow. The Pact is launching tomorrow, and yeah, we're super excited for this new season. This is going to be my second season since I joined the team, and it features...
It's weird. It feels like we've been working together for a decade now.
Yes, definitely. But yeah, I'm super excited for that, and we're going to have a special guest to discuss about that as well. But first, we're going to watch the trailer for The Pact, the new season for Division 2.
Time and again, our enemies have risen up. And time and again, you've beaten them back. You've held the worst this world has to offer at bay. Carved out safe places where people can build new lives. But our enemies are getting tired of losing. Now, three of our greatest threats are joining forces against us. The Hyenas, the Outcasts, and the True Sons. We've never faced a threat on this scale before. The streets of DC are on fire. have to stop them. You have to break the Pact.
So before we introduce our special guest, I want to ask for you specifically about the narrative of this new season, because we don't want to spoil anything for the community, but I want to understand like what players can expect from the Pact.
So, to not give a lot of spoilers, basically what we just saw in the trailer that gives you the premise of the season, the main theme being alliance between our rival factions and also fight for territory control. So that, of course, is going to be the like silver lining, not only for the story, but also for the game features that we're going to get in the season, the modifiers, and we'll talk about it later. But we just saw that Outcasts' true sons and hyenas are forming a pact. And it's up to us to uncover what this pact is about, what's happening, why they decided to unite against everything that Shade Agents stand for. So let's see, of course, there is going to be a bit more than that, but it's up to us to find out as to why this is happening and, of course, prevent them from uniting.
But now it's time to talk about our special guest. So directly from the Bucharest team, the Bucharest studio, I'm here with, finally, Alexandru Birzanu, our game director. How are you going?
Hi there, everybody. I'm Alexandru Birzanu. I'm the game director from Division 2, and what a blast it is to finally be here together, sharing this stream.
But before Season 2, I'm sorry, I need to ask that, because a lot of people don't know the difference between you and Yannick when it comes to your title, because Yannick is the creative director for Division 2, and you are the game director. So can you tell us a little bit about this difference, how you guys work together?
For sure. So the two of us, we definitely work very closely together. Yannick, as the creative director, he holds the vision of the game, and it's my job as the game director to make sure that we, as the entire team with all of the departments, we stick true to that vision. I mostly touch on everything gameplay related, so if there's something that's happening on screen, if there's a number that's being tweaked somewhere, I'm probably the person that's handling the day-to-day, and we check in with Yannick super often to make sure that we're on track, that we're delivering the player fantasy that he envisioned.
So, Alex, can you tell us a little bit more about your work with Retaliation? What is Retaliation for those who haven't played the PTS yet?
Yeah, for sure. So if you like cleaning control points, there's going to be a lot of that this season. Basically, throughout the season, your actions will trigger hostile responses from the enemy factions. This is both in DC, Brooklyn, and Warlords of New York. Killing off enemies as you usually do, capturing control points, doing missions, that will fill up an agitation meter. Once it reaches 100% with the faction, that faction will pick a particular name zone that they're going to then try to conquer. And it's up to you to retaliate against them, drop into that name zone, clear out all of the control points, but you have a set amount of time to do that. So there's also this element of pressure and high stakes. And yeah, and there's also an interesting surprise with a special enemy that we've prepared this season.
Yeah, that's the next topic I want to discuss here, because you're not just cleaning control points, but at some point you can get surprised by what we call elite, the kill squads, right? So they are super powerful, as I know, and how that connects with the whole objective that we're trying to offer to the player. So they're trying to get the control points, and then these guys will jump from nowhere and try to kill them.
Yeah, so when you engage in retaliation against a faction, that particular faction can call for backup out of nowhere, either members of their own faction or specially hired mercenaries. Like Leo said, they're elite enemies. They ambush you, they come out of nowhere, and they have only one goal: to eliminate you as soon as possible. We've heard that players want challenge time and time again. I think the introduction of kill squads, from what I've been seeing from live streams and videos, we're doing a great job with them so far in terms of challenge.
And from what I remember, that's also a timed mission, right? Because we can see the small timer, and eliminating the enemies from the kill squad successfully would allow you to get a little bit more time, right?
For sure. Each retaliation, like Daria said, you'll have that timer on the top left. You start with a set amount of time, and by either killing control points or by defeating the kill squads, you'll get a large chunk of time added, so that you'll have enough time to finish the retaliation. Killing enemies also awards you with a little bit of time, but your main focus is go in, clear the control points. If you have time and you're up for a challenge, kill squads and make it in time.
Yeah, and talking about times, there's another aspect of retaliations that we introduce, especially in the second phase of PTS, but now the whole community will be able to join, is the maneuvers, right? So we're trying to give them extra reasons to get more time.
Yeah, with maneuvers, it's we're kind of wanting to reward players showing off their skills. So maneuvers essentially are different objectives that pop up on your screen. As soon as you start a retaliation, you'll have one objective, and it's available for all players in the party. And it can be something like to kill 5 enemies with headshots. Should you manage to achieve that, you'll get a chunk of time. If anyone else from your party achieves that, you'll get extra time on top. And once you're done clearing out the control point, that maneuver will change into something else. So it's one of the ways in which we manage to tie in this skill expression of the player with gaining extra time.
The introduction of retaliations also, it's something that we've been anticipating because it's a new way for players to farm exotics, right? So we're giving them a way to get a more structured way of getting those high value weapons and gear that they're looking for. And I want you to touch a little bit on this topic because when we release the patch notes, players will be able to understand and to see very clearly which exotic they can get from each faction. And I think that's a cool addition for those that are looking for the end game, right?
Yeah, so either you're a new player and you're just developing your arsenal right now, or you're a veteran player and you're missing those couple of items. Yannick, you can finally get the Scorpio, I think. So yeah, with retaliation, we're adding in the functionality of being able to craft blueprints. When you engage in retaliation against a certain faction, you'll have a chance to drop a particular blueprint that is tied to that faction. Then in the crafting menu, as you can see on the screen, we added a new section called exotics. You'll get access to all of the exotics in the game. And by using materials that you gain through retaliation, as well as others, you'll be able to craft the missing pieces of your arsenal. I can't wait for this. Finally, can do exotic craft.
and like I mentioned before, like if you want to check like how you can get each exotic in the patch notes, you're gonna have like a table with each faction dropping which blueprint, so you can target for there and get a new a good understanding of how you should shape your gameplay.
One thing I'm going to add is that on the screen we saw information for retaliation for hyenas, true sons, and outcasts, but that's not it. There's also going to be an opportunity to get the retaliation event from Rikers and also from cleaners.
Yeah, so if you don't have the DLCs, you can also get that as well, right?
Yeah, you can still get that. By finishing a retaliation, you'll get a faction-specific material as a reward, but you'll also get, let's say, more generic one. You can trade in the generic one if you just have the base game for materials from the Rikers or the Cleaners faction, and this way you can still obtain those exotics, even if you just own the base game.
Okay, a new season comes with a new modifiers, and the global modifier we have for this season is called Divide and Conquer. So it's all about the same thing. We're talking about territory control, retaliation, the Pact, like everything is super connected. Alex, tell us a little bit more about the global modifier, Divide and Conquer.
Yeah, so for this season, again, it's going to be around this notion of territory control. When you have some stakes in a name zone whereby an enemy faction doesn't own all of the control points, you get a bonus, and if you have complete control over the entire name zone, you get double the bonus. You get all of the bonuses, sorry. So like it's rate of fire and increased damage, and this scales up to like 30%, and it also scales based on the amount of name zones within the territory. So obviously for DC, you've got 11 name zones. It's going to take a while, but the increase in damage is stronger earlier on. We've heard the feedback from PTS that it was taking a long time to get these bonuses, while for Warlords of New York and for Brooklyn, fewer name zones, so you're going to be able to stack this bonus quicker.
But it's important to highlight that it's specific to the map. So the bonus you get in New York doesn't apply to Washington because it's only for the name zones from the specific map that you're playing on, right?
Yep, that's correct.
All right. And now talking about the active modifiers, we have 5 active modifiers. They are, I would say, specific to or like inspired by the factions that we have. So we have Hyenas, Outcasts, Rikers, Cleaners, and True Sons. And yeah, now we have 5 active modifiers, and we have something new about them that now you can upgrade them as well, right?
Yeah, so I'm really excited about what we've done with the modifiers this season. Shout out to Dragos Like for designing this system. So like Leo said, we have an active modifier that is specific to each of the factions that we have in game. What's awesome, I'll talk about the modifiers in a second. What's awesome and what's new this season is that we're adding the option to be able to level up these modifiers. You'll be able to level them up as you kill enemies or complete the retaliation while having one of these modifiers equipped. And aside from just stats increases, as you level them up, they're also going to have new effects. But on the notion of the modifiers themselves, again, they're like super specific to the faction. So for the Cleaners, we have Sanitation, where you burn stuff around you. For the Rikers, we have the Say Cheese, where you flash everyone in front of you and you blind them. I mean, there's a play style, there's a modifier that covers each play style, and there's a modifier that covers, I don't know, if you want to play more defensive, if you want to play more tanky. And we tried even to do our best to try to match multiple play styles with these modifiers.
And not only active modifiers we're going to have in this season, we have passive modifiers. We're going to have 10 of them. And that's important to highlight as well, because some of them are, I would say, faction specific, so things you can use against specific enemies or specific factions, and the others are more archetype based. So guide us through this difference on the design for both types of passive modifiers, and how do you envision the community using them? Because I can definitely see people changing them just because of the faction they're going against in the retaliation.
For sure. So this was exactly the mindset that we had when we first started working on the passive modifiers. You've got 5 general modifiers that don't necessarily apply to a specific faction, like destroy an assault, doesn't matter what faction, or whenever a grenade lands around you, it just destroys itself, obviously on a cooldown. And that's, like in broader terms when you're just doing random things in the world. But if you're going to do back-to-back retaliations against a particular faction like Hyenas, I think the passive modifier for Hyenas does something along the lines where when you shoot the shielded enemy, and it is a Hyena, your bullets recoil off of their shield to adjacent enemies. It's basically having your own mini turmoil as a passive modifier, and I think there's a lot of fun combinations that players can experiment with this season.
And just to finalize the topics on the modifiers, we also have the hostile modifiers. So it's how the enemies will be different around you. We have the Out of Mind, Wedge, and Overwatch, the 3 hostile modifiers. Can you comment on them?
Yeah, so these are meant to put your tactical senses to the test a little bit. It's not just about going in and shooting everyone willy-nilly. Right now, with the Out of Mind, for example, if you don't do damage to enemies, they'll have higher rates of fire. So making sure you place at least one bullet in everyone on screen is definitely going to help you against that. Then I think we've got Wedge, where enemies get a boost of damage to themselves and to their allies, and it scales up to the number of allies. So over there, you want to try to pick the weakest link every single time and just go from there instead of taking on, I don't know, maybe the highest value target.
And with the new season, we have the modifiers, as we spoke about that, but also we have new gear. So we have the Urban Lookout brand set. That's the one that a lot of people gave a lot of feedback on the PTS. Can you tell us a little bit more about the design of that and how we changed that during PTS?
So for the Urban Lookout, it was designed primarily around the utility slash support aspect, whereby was that urban lookout that I'm looking at? Skill duration, armor reloading. So yeah, I think it was this was the one where if you reloaded, it would give bonus armor. But I'm seeing something else on screen right now. Oh no! So this is the one like determined, but it's not determined in that case. Yeah. Now it's coming back to me. So yes, this is us encouraging the community. Hey, have a look at this. Try something else. Mix and match different builds. We're giving you the option of like being able to do headshots in a deterministic manner. So hopefully this satisfies that bit for the determined players.
And we also have the tipping scales gear set. So maybe you're confusing with that because you have the brand set, urban lookout, and we have the gear set, the tipping scales. That's one of the gear that we put on PTS that we got a lot of feedback as well because of the LMG and SMG discussion, assault rifle. The players gave a lot of feedback about the stacks. Can you tell us a little bit more about your design choice on that? Like how those stacks work, what we're trying to achieve here, what we're trying to encourage for the playstyle?
For sure. First of all, normally we joke that we balance the game so that it aligns better with what Yannick is playing. Well, I'm an LMG player, and this is an LMG set, so welcome to a new age of balance, I guess. I'm joking. But yeah, with the tipping scales, I saw the comparison between this on the PTS and on Twitch and on YouTube, the comparison between this and Strikers where you're stacking stacks continuously. While I get that there might have been a concern regarding how many stacks you lose, specifically if you're using an LMG and you have a longer reload time, we have this option of you don't lose stacks while an enemy is suppressed. So you have to play around this in order to get the maximum profits. And do remember that you're gaining weapon handling with these stacks. So this also helps with your reload speed. I think right now it's in a good place. As long as you play to its strength, whereby maybe before reloading you make sure that you've got one or two enemies suppressed. But yeah, that's not to say that I'm not open and listening to feedback as the season progresses.
What we have now in front of us is the new named weapon. So we have Achilles. It's one of the new named weapons for this season. Now you're seeing on the screen is the rifle. Any comments on that?
Yeah, so the two new named weapons, the Achilles and the Instigator in particular, cool guns, and they come with the soft spot talent, whereby if you destroy an enemy's weak point, you get a large damage increase for 15 seconds. It gives you ample amount of times to, play around it. I want to say, I think so. Yeah, the Achilles is the rifle, and the Instigator is the MMR, both coming in with soft spot and perfect soft spot. So I think it's going to be interesting to have them in our arsenals moving forward.
The other one that you're talking was the Instigator, the marksman rifle that we're seeing on the screen right now. It looks like it's sniper season because we have the Instigator and we also have the exotic new marksman rifle. So we have the Shroud. That's a weapon that is very interesting for me because I'm trying to play around with snipers right now, and I would like to understand more from your perspective what we're trying to achieve here. What different tool we're giving to the players when it comes to snipers.
So this is going to be, I hope, really interesting for our players. The Shroud is an extraordinary sniper. If you haven't had the sniper build before, it's probably time to make one. If you have one, I hope you're happy with what's here. It comes with a really interesting talent where we're introduced in tiers to enemies. And in the case of the Shroud, you get, I think it's 125 increased weapon damage to the highest ranking enemy. So like you can think of the highest ranking enemies as being the Hunters, the Rogue Agents, second tier smaller enemies, and the third tier being your everyday cannon fodder. So in the Shroud's case, particularly against the highest tier enemies, the toughest ones that you face off on the battlefield, you get 125% weapon damage, and this just destroys. It melts, and with a really strong build behind it, it melts just even harder. I'm an LMG player, but I am willing to make a sniper build as well at this point.
And the other exotic that we have are also like kind of synergized with this one is the exotic gloves overdogs. So now you're seeing on the screen the overdogs. You can see the visuals. And yeah, please tell us a little bit more about how it's synergized with Shroud, like what we're trying to achieve with this one.
So this is the interesting thing about these two exotics this season. They do reinforce this whole idea of a higher tier or lower tier enemy. If the Shroud was specifically designed for the higher tier, the gloves are designed for you to be able to kill off the lower tier enemies. This does mean that once you're out of normal enemies, the second tier is now the lowest tier enemy, and it just goes from downwards to upwards, while with the Shroud it goes the other way around. So I think there's an interesting mix and match. You could even match the both of them together, and this way you're in an interesting spot where you deal a lot of damage to both tiers of enemies. I don't know. I think I'm curious to hear what the player feedback is going to be as they create different builds around these items. How much are we liking this tiered enemy system?
Talk about the last exotic from this season. Exotic pistol, automatic pistol, the Tempest. This is a very hot one. Like, we got a lot of feedback on that. Players were talking about shield breaking builds because they're trying to work around the talent. That's a mark for our meta, right? We're introducing for the first time an automatic pistol, and that fits very well with the large shield, for example.
Finally, we have an automated pistol in the game. What can I say about it? It's crazy stats wise. Like, I think for all of the players that are familiar with the balance in the game, the stats on the Tempest are just extraordinarily good, and we've designed it as such because it has such strong stats, and it's really fun to shoot. Like, it's just amazing to put a shield in front of you and everybody in front. Because it's so strong in stats, this time the talent that we attached to it wasn't designed for to be built around. It's mostly about just have fun with the gun. It is fun no matter what. In case you're using a shield and you run out of shield, well, this is a quick escape situation. It's not necessarily about building around it, but us giving you a boon in case you're knee deep into trouble and need the saving grace.
Yeah, Alex, I think that was all from your part of the gameplay for this stream. I need to say that it was incredible to have you here. I'm super happy to be able to feature new devs on screen, put a spotlight on some of the devs who are doing this amazing job. And for me, it's super, super cool to have you here. So thank you so much for your time. And do you want to say anything, any final words for today for our community?
For sure. Thank you so much for having me. A massive shout out to the entire team that worked on Retaliation. I'm super proud of what we're shipping tomorrow, and I hope players will enjoy this new activity. Thank you so much for having me, and peace.
Yeah, sure. But before we move to that, I think I have one comment about Retaliation
sure.
that I think is very important for us to mention here, is that Retaliation is a new feature here to stay. So it's not only going to be available during the Pact season. Once the Pact season is over, Retaliation is going to be available.
Talking about the season pass, and now returning to that point, every season we got a new season pass, and now you can see the track. We have a free track and a premium track. A lot of rewards, a lot of cool stuff. I know that the community loves to grind all of those items, and yeah, do you want to mention anything about the season pass?
Yeah, sure. The important thing to mention is same as the previous season and a few seasons before that. Of course, there is going to be an opportunity for players to get a free outfit, right? So it's not only if you pay, you're going to get to dress nice. You can absolutely look your best even if you play for free. But on the premium track, there is an opportunity to get the return on investment and get 400 credits back, plus some cool stuff as well.
And yeah, so real quick about the stretch goals. So players at level 130 will get the Lexington. Players at level 150 will get the Lexington plus the Turmoil knee pads, just one of each. And you can expect that to be a reward to you if you qualify in the end of this week, so Friday. It's not going to be like new season automatic in your inventory. It's going to take some time for us to identify those players and grant to them by the end of this week. So you can expect that on Friday. Twitch drop starting tomorrow. We have 8 rewards, 2 exotic caches, 1 named item cache, and backpack trophies and skins. So if you want to get those rewards, just make sure that you're watching your favorite content creator on Twitch and that you have your account connected to your Division account as well. We also have planned for this season a cool collab. It's going to be the first time in Division 2 that we're going to feature some of the content creators' visual identity inside the game. We're super excited for that. We have some stuff planned already. You guys need to wait to see how it's going to play out. But we're super excited to have 3 content creators with us for this specific season, but it's not all. Like, we have plans to do with more people. We want to increase our collaboration with content creators from our community. So if you want to be part of that, if you have like a favorite content creator, make sure that you tell us that you tell us who they are. So we want to know who are the good content creators that we have out there in our community. And yeah, we want to spotlight, we want to flash as much as creators possible in our game, and this is just the beginning of a cool thing that we're planning, right? So we're gonna have a Halloween event. It's confirmed, and players are able to see something very special in our screen right now. Can you tell us a little bit more about this event?
Yeah, so actually whatever we see on the screen right now, and I guess it's all right if I start with that, is called Huntsman.
Okay.
So it's a new NPC that players will be able to encounter in the open world once the event starts, but Huntsman won't come alone. This character will have the army of his little mini warhounds. Yes, you heard it right, the warhounds, but they're small warhounds. And each warhound going to have a certain mechanic is attached to it, and they will react differently to players trying to get to them. But what's interesting about this specific part of the event is not only the new gameplay that comes with this huntsman person that looks suspiciously similar to hunters, but we don't know that for sure yet. And the pack of small warhounds is that by hunting down the warhounds, you will get the directions towards the huntsman. And you will be able to get this very nice outfit.
It looks amazing. Like, I wanna use that right now in my character. So yeah, that's super cool, and we're gonna definitely talk more about Halloween when it's closer to the release date, but that's just like a tease, and I hope the players are excited for this as much as I am, because I know that we have a few surprises prepared for that. We have more surprise for the season. We have other things planned that it's not being featured here. For example, we have Black Friday. You know that Black Friday is an important date for Division.
Yeah. But also about Halloween, that was not everything. There is more than that. Like, this year is going to be a huge celebration, even compared to last year, even though it was already quite big. But aside from this new mechanic and the Huntsman NPC and mini warhounds and the possibility to get the bounty for Huntsman and then get the outfit, there is also going to be a project chain. Just a normal project chain, something that we're familiar with, and by completing the project chain, there will be an opportunity to get another outfit. We do not have the visuals for it now because we want to keep it as a surprise, but I'm going to hint the name is going to be Masquerade. So I don't know, maybe it has to do something with vampires, who knows, because it's Halloween, right? It can be anything. But also, of course, through completing the project, you will also be able to get the named weapon. So there is 2 things already. More than that, we're hoping to have Halloween-style decorations in the game.
I've seen a little bit of that. It's amazing. Like it's definitely gives a mood, right?
It's very festive, so yeah, hopefully that the time comes soon enough, because I can't wait already. I really love everything that is Halloween. But yeah, talking about Black Friday,
Yeah.
Another big thing for us to celebrate, because it's a big thing narratively for us, and like pretty much the entire game would never happen if not for Black Friday. So yeah, this time around there are a few festivities planned around that as well. Without giving out too much stuff, first of all, veteran rewards. Last year, I think it was earth-shattering how successful Lexington became within the community. So this time around, we're planning something similar. There is going to be a new weapon, and also tiered from bronze to silver to gold. So you can definitely be on the lookout for that. And you also mentioned friend referral program. So we're gonna be spicing it up with some new stuff, with some maybe new outfits. And it's not that I do not have information about that. It's just I want to keep some stuff for you guys to discover a little bit later. So yeah. It's another perfect opportunity for those who are reliant for friend referral. If you want to get some friends playing together with you closer to the end of the season, around Black Friday, around November, that's definitely something.
And thank you for your presence.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me. I'm really happy to be back at this table. Love what you've done.
So we're going to have the patch notes posted today, so you can check all the new stuff that are coming, the changes and everything. And super excited for the Pact. Thank you so much for your audience. Thank you. Bye-bye.